What's up guys, Kyron Dudebro here, and we're going to talk about today's subject, which is how to apply frame advantage on block and what to expect when dealing with it. So I'm going to demonstrate two different characters so you can generally get the idea of how it goes down during a real-time match. So we got Safety right here, and I'm going to demonstrate a certain option that he has that I'm sure that everyone has seen before. So one of Seyfried's more common options that you see online is him doing this. This is Seyfried's A plus B. Once he does this option, he has many things he can do right after it because it forces him into a stance. Within this stance, he can do K, he can do B, or he can do A. Shoot, he can also do A plus B to go away. But there's a very specific thing that I'm sure that all of us have seen and experienced. Now this, I'm sure it happens to all of us at least once. What happened there was an example of Seyfried applying his frame advantage on block. Now what happened? Now, there's another thing you have to also look out for, is this is me not pressing a button. And this is me pressing a button. There's a hit animation that lets you know that it was counter hit. So, what's going on here? Well, there's two moves that I am doing. We can do Setsuka's A or K or her down A. But we're going to use down A and standing K. Both of them are 12 frames, right? When Seyfried does this attack right here, oh, not that one. When he does this move right here, he is +4 on block. So that leaves us at -4 on block. Now another interesting thing is the kick that he does afterwards, which is this kick right here, comes out at frame 10. So because of such, it becomes a term called a frame trap. And a frame trap essentially is when the opponent puts you in a particular position where you aren't allowed to press a button that can counter poke. So even though this move comes out at frame 12, because I'm suffering from 4 frames of advantage for disadvantage correction, then his move will automatically beat mine. So here's that happening in real time. So we're gonna see that, and it doesn't even matter. I can try doing a low kick as well or a standing kick. Same result. However, just because you have frame advantage doesn't mean you can do everything willy-nilly. Here's an example. Now remember, I mentioned before that Seyfried has multiple options off of that. His standing K is his best option, the kick. Now, one of the worst options you can do when applying frame advantage is using a very slow attack. Here's an example of that. Look at that. Something just happened. We interrupted Seyfried's option. And that happened is because the move that he's doing after A plus B is 22 frames. That's way too long to apply any offensive pressure towards us because we can just interrupt it. Shoot it. We have so much time that we can do super right after that. Now, oof, that was weird. Now, what's going on here? Well, because of the fact that he's using a move that's so slow, his frame advantage doesn't matter because we can practically have the option to do our really quick moves to interrupt it. And the fact that we can do super shows that it's not really a good move. So we can use our counter pokes like that. So keep in mind that you will only want to do options that puts your opponent in a really sticky situation where they cannot press buttons at all. You don't ever want to use moves after it that has so much startup animations. So here's a second example of this. When Seyfried goes to this state, he can use Dark Legacy. That move puts Seyfried at +2, so he has 2 frames of advantage that he can use against me while we're in -2. Here's an option that he is using, which is his launcher that comes out at frame 20. Here is the scenario of what to not do when you have frame advantage. My button, my controller's acting up. Oh no. There we go. See that? Even though he was +2 of frame advantage, he did an option that was so slow that I punish him for not doing the right option. Now, there's another thing that he could have done instead of doing that. Here's a separate option what he should have been doing. Right there, a true frame trap. That move comes out much faster than the 20 frame option that we did. The move that we performed with Seyfried was a 14 frame option. Now, if you apply the frame advantage that he gained, it would easily counter hit a lot of Setsuka's options, making it very capable of beating her fastest options, which is why it was very strong to do so. That means options that comes out at frame 12, which are typically the fastest move in the game, not including the ones that come out at 12 frames with characters that are a few exceptions. 12 frame is generally the fastest move that many characters have. So it's a very powerful option to use that, since a lot of characters has access to 12 frames and it will lose to this. That is what you call a frame trap. Now there are situations where you can deal with it in a different way. Next, we're going to demonstrate another one with Sulpicia to give you an idea that it exists within the entire cast. So with Sulpicia, she has her option, which is Backback KK, with this move right here. Now after that, she's going to do Angel Step B, which is this after it. The kick is +4 on block, and Angel Step comes out at frame 14. Now, theoretically, that means that she has 4 frames of advantage, and that leaves us with options that we need to use that has to be 10 frames or less. Setsuka doesn't have any options like that. That's me using one of her fastest options in the game. And with that one, like I said before, frame 12 is typically every character's fastest attack. On the other hand, there are ways to actually deal with being minus on block, and there are 2 exceptions that you can use. Now for the first one, I don't know how fast Reversal Edge comes out. Well, Reversal Edge pretty much says lol, don't really care about your frame advantage. However, I don't know how much or how fast this move comes out. So that will be something we can talk about later down the line once I figure that out. Even if though that she is +4, we can just simply do this option and we can get out of that situation. I won't say that this will work all the time, because I'm sure there are cases where if you're Soul Plus, then it just won't work. However, that's to be yet discovered, to me at least. The other option is simply just move. This is a 3D fighting game, and movement is a very powerful option. Oh, I didn't block. See that? Attacks have startup animation, and the startup is what usually causes your character to get counter hit or frame trapped in general. Because Setsuka's fastest option is 12 frames, and you're trying to challenge it. That's the reason you put yourself in that situation. But you won't exist in that situation if you just don't press a button. Instead, just move out the situation and you don't have to deal with the frame trap. And because of that, you can actually punish her because you have the correct read. However, there are cases where you're minus enough where they can prevent you from moving. That'll be another video later on once I discover how much disadvantage you have to be. But in general, that's pretty much the thought of how frame advantage work. And that is it. If you like this video, please leave a like or dislike it if you don't like it. Leave a comment telling me what you really like, if it has helped you out, or if you have any video ideas. This is Kyron Dudebro, and I will see you guys next time. Keep it easy and stay safe.